I'm not sure you need to read any further with that one.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today we're joined by Lorde. She's a 2-time Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter, and she's back with her long-awaited, much-anticipated third studio album, Solar Power. The latest singles, Stoned at the Nail Salon and Solar Power, are available now, as well as a multi-continent tour set to begin next year. Lorde, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
What's going through your head right now as you prepare to chow down this afternoon?
Well, I am hungry. The wings look pretty good. But I just said to you before, I feel like I'm inside the internet. Like, it is a weird sensation to be here. So it's a little surreal, but I'm ready. Oh, the handle. Okay, good to know. Great. Delicious wing. This is yummy.
So as I touched on, you have an album on the way, and then feeding the fans in the meantime with your singles Stoned at the Nail Salon and Solar Power. And I've heard you talk about threads that run through your albums, like the house party motif and melodrama. Is there a theme or even a color that you can identify in this, your most recent era of music?
Totally, yeah. Well, the color of melodrama was this kind of violet, this Egyptian violet. And this one was very much gold, kind of sun, golden hour type color. I basically thought of the album as like a sun worship album. I'm not religious in any way, but my experiences in nature in the last couple of years were as close to what I had experienced as religion. So it was like a sort of devotional record for me. That's how I thought about it, and just very gold and joyful. Fresh flavor. Fruity.
So far, hitting right.
I like it. It's so nice to eat a wing, my God.
It's been too long.
Just in the pop star life, I feel like you're not like smashing wings that often, you know?
You gotta look for an excuse like this, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think about the geniusification of music? Like, for music fans, what do you see as the pros and cons of an artist decoding their own lyrics?
Wow. Actually, when like a big release comes out, one of the first things I will do is go on Genius, because I'm such a lyric nut. In the past, I'd always sort of thought it's all open domain. Like, I sort of wasn't precious about any details. But as I get older, I find myself saying, no, actually, I'm not going to explain that song. Not because I necessarily need it left up to interpretation, but because it's about something that's very precious to me and that I feel weird about, like, commodifying via, something like Genius. But there's also sometimes the thing where the fans will annotate it and they're like, it has this many, it's syncopated in this way, which represents this number. And I'm like, oh, no, it's too much. Like, it's not that deep all the time, but I like it. Some little bits in it? What are we talking here?
Yeah, and see how it's kind of clear, but then shake up the bottom.
So how often are you changing out these sauces?
So every season, typically we'll do like a 12-episode season and then put in our new symphony of hot sauces every time.
I love it. Well, to the third wing.
And this is kind of interesting.
Yum. Smoky.
Big pepper bomb, that one.
Really different to the last one. Mm-hmm. Really good.
And a little bit spicier even.
A little spicier.
But nothing Lorde can't handle.
We're only on wing 3, I'm like, do I keep double biting or do I save the Scovilles? do they layer on? Like, how does it work with the...
Oh, there's definitely a cumulative effect as you work your way through.
That's what I thought.
So to my knowledge, you're the first person from New Zealand that we've ever had in the hot seat.
So if
you'll humor us, we're hoping to get a guide to the Kiwi lifestyle directly from the source. Hokey Pokey ice cream, overrated or underrated?
I like it, but I'm more preferential to a cookies and cream, which I know you have here, but I think of as like a very New Zealand ice cream.
I read that in New Zealand, sheep outnumber people something like 10 to 1. For those of us who aren't lucky enough to live in a part of the world where that type of thing is happening, how do you explain the allure of devotion cheese?
I don't know, like I'm a bit of a cheese connoisseur. I love cheese, and kind of the zanier the better. Like I've never met a cheese that was too funky and crazy for me. So devotion is actually pretty chill. It's a sheep's milk cheese. But it just has this, just this slight grassiness that I really like. I would bring you a lump, but I think that's illegal.
Oh, really? To bring it into the...
Yeah, the pasteurization, I don't know. Might not,
so I gotta catch a flight.
Might not fly, Come down and I'll do your cheese board.
Hell yeah, I'll take you up on that. All right, Lorde, you ready to move on here to the fourth one already?
I'm ready.
Hot Ones barbacoa here.
Sick. This is a really delicious lunch. I'm not gonna lie.
So far.
So far.
At
number 4. Yeah. Yum.
So I know that you love the growling tiger that's at the top of the bridge of your song Sober. Mm-hmm. Can you give us another example of being drawn to an effect in the Jack Antonoff library of strange sounds?
So this album features a lot of cicada singing, cicada music.
And solar power.
Yeah. And that was something that I just started recording on my phone in New Zealand, because the sound of cicadas to me, it's so emblematic of New Zealand summer. And I loved the idea of immortalizing that on this record. So I would just sort of go outside every time I would hear them raging and get a little recording. But I didn't realize that this year's Brood X, which is this big kind of boom of cicadas once every 17 years. The last time it happened was in 2004 when I guess J-Lo and Ben Affleck were together, and now they're back together. And so people are like, oh, like Brood X, like it's in the air. So I guess I'm right on trend with my cicada moment, but I have been taking the recordings for a couple of years. I'm intrigued by this yellow guy, ginger goat, pineapple and ginger, yummy.
All right, Lorde, we have a recurring segment on our show called Explain That Gram. We do a deep dive on our guest Instagram, pull interesting pictures that need more context, challenge us a little bit with yours. But we'll show you the pictures over here on the monitor. You just tell us the bigger story. This is during your Glastonbury and your Coachella performances. You ended up using this big glass box for dancers. And I'm curious, how seriously do you think about stage design?
I don't know, like making music is amazing, but you can do that on a very small scale in your bedroom. But designing a tour, like that's real shit, that costs real money. And I always feel like it's such a privilege to be like, let's make this thing out of steel and glass, and then it shows up, So it's super important to me. Whoa, I just touched.
Yeah, that was close.
I saw the eyebrows.
I was gripping the table.
I am a little itchy. I'm gonna use a pinky. Okay. So I'm pretty excited when I go to a show and it's something more real, or more kinetic. So the box was a really cool thing to get to make. And you look down on the crowd, I remember, it's very surreal.
And then when you have all those different moving parts, and a multimedia presentation, is there a time where the technology has failed you during a live show?
Oh, yeah. Yes, actually. Oh my God. We played this festival called Bonnaroo, and it was roasting hot, and our gear just started frying. And I was just standing on the side of the stage waiting to go on. There was a comedian called Hannibal Buress.
He's done the show. I know Hannibal. Yeah.
So he was there, and I didn't know who he was at the time, but he was like, do you want me to go on and do a set to keep them? And I was like, no, who is this person? I was like, I'm very stressed out. I probably should have taken him up on the offer because
that was nice of him.
Legitimately funny person. So thank you, Hannibal.
I feel like this is me fighting against evil.
You're not gonna lose to a wing. You're not gonna let a chicken wing.
Yum, Teacup Masala, so a little Indian
curry
energy.
Vibe. Mm-hmm.
Yum. You really get that cumin and getting a real profile.
Yeah, check it out.
Well, coconut milk, ginger, cumin, garam masala. Love it.
Speaking to you.
Like it.
So you're an artist like Kendrick Lamar, Frank Ocean, somebody who actively avoids the spotlight when you're in between projects. And then you have that line in Solar Power about throwing your cellular device under the water. Can you reach me? No, you can't. How do you think about creating that distance between yourself and public attention? Like, is it just all about isolating yourself so that you can create without distractions? Or is it you yearning for a sense of personal privacy?
It's a combination of those two things. I am by nature a very private, introverted person, so it sort of suits me better. But also I think there's a certain kind of zone you can get in when people are gassing you up and telling you you're the shit all the time. You know, I felt, you know, obviously I sort of became well known super young. 16 is a time when so much is changing about yourself. And I feel like I made a real choice at that age to not really let that validation change my day, because you could be, you know, maybe not showing up for your loved ones, and it's just a slippery slope, I think. I feel like I'm being boring. I'm not like...
No.
I'm not sizzling out, like, but it's delicious. I'm loving the wings.
Well, this next one...
This next one gonna... I'm about to eat my words.
Might change things.
Sick.
So this is hotter than L.
Hotter than L. I taste that Scotch bonnet.
Wow.
Fruity. Can you taste it though?
Yeah, but I like that you have a palate that can sense the Scotch
I love to
bonnet.
cook. That's nice. Is it unwise to double bite at this point?
Let's just go.
Yummy.
Hell yeah.
You need to just like dab my nose, I feel like. Don't want to touch it. Okay. Yum.
So I know that you led your middle school to a second place finish in the 2009 Kids Lit Quiz World Finals.
Oh, yeah.
And
I was
then-
like, what's this going to be? My Battle of the Bands debut, perhaps?
The literature
Thank you
finals.
so much. Yeah. One of my finest achievements, honestly.
And then recently you changed your Instagram bio to be a quote by Joan Didion. Do you have a favorite literary reference from one of your songs or music videos?
That's a really good question. Definitely for this last album, a quote that I thought about a lot by a writer called Annie Dillard was, how we spend our days is of course how we spend our lives. I've been thinking about A Midsummer Night's Dream recently, actually. That was something I read as a kid that it was so evocative, the kind of depictions of being outside in the sunshine, you know, these like kind of fairies and centaurs and stuff sort of frolicking. So I went back and read some of that, and it, you know, obviously still holds up.
Hell yeah.
Shakespeare still holds up. Don't know if you know that about it, but it's the shit. This one's pretty dark in a way that looks a little concerning.
Sizing it up.
It's almost bitter.
There's not a lot of
No?
redeeming qualities. You know, I saw how you checked out the Teacup Masala ingredients. I'm not sure you need to read any further with that one.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No one does.
So that's been around for a while.
For this reason, you know?
I feel it.
Yeah.
The bitterness is really the overwhelming quality.
Wow. But your composure through this thing, it's a sight to behold.
It's hot. It's hot.
Last month, you published a photo book called Going South, which chronicled your trip to Antarctica. What's the most memorable experience you had with wildlife in the South Pole? It's been kind of a theme throughout this season. We had David Harbour on, and he went to visit the penguins.
Oh, that's right.
You know about David Harbour going to see the penguins?
I actually do. He went to Antarctica also because not many people go there. So I think I saw him and I was like, tell me more. Well, I had this crazy experience. I went out with a whale scientist on this like midnight whale tracking expedition. And we went in this helicopter and they had like all the doors and windows open, which seemed insane to me, but it is hot. We just kind of flew along the ice shelf because you can't fly over open water in Antarctica because it's so dangerous. So I had this crazy surreal experience of it being midnight and we're like flying over this kind of channel looking for these orca. Still to this day, like I don't think I have done anything cooler than that, and maybe never will. Like it's probably it. I'm doing good. It's I feel it.
You know, you said when you walked in, you're like, oh, I feel like I'm in the Matrix. You know, seeing the black curtain, and then
you're gonna
once
edit
you tried to bomb,
the zings onto me, the noise. I need to like do an expression that I'll be like, and I don't look crazy.
Wait till you see what Colin does with that one.
Can't wait. I can imagine like people totally panicking. Like it's a high stress
way to do
Sorry,
press.
my nose is just like pouring. Whew, okay.
All right, so this next one is the Scorpion Disco.
I love that name.
9 spot.
Yeah. Funkin' hot. That's nice. That's a nice little way.
Everything is a little bit easier.
It's almost
you know?
a two-biter.
Oh, all right. Well, if you called two-biter.
I like it. Still my favorite flavor-wise was this jalapeno.
Take it
That's
with you.
Nice.
Take it with
Really?
you. Yeah.
Shit, thank you.
Whatever you want, Lord. We're hooking it up.
Yum.
So a lot has been made about your undercover Instagram account where you review onion rings, which was active at least as recently as last April. As an aficionado of the art form, what to you are the keys to a perfect onion ring?
Okay. I want an onion that has been cut thickly. I'm not, I want like kind of like this. I want a pretty toothsome vertical bite. I want a pretty crisp yet thick crust. I want it to have some substance. I guess I'd probably more be into a battered than a crumbed.
You're forced to make a choice, yeah.
I'm forced to make a choice, so that's maybe the way that my bias skews. I like a white onion, although I have had a few red onion rings that have, caught my eye. But I feel like Chicago would be a good
it's a good onion ring
ring
city.
Town. I don't know why I get that vibe. It just seems like
Midwest. Yeah.
Onion ring.
You know what? That assumption it's not misguided. It's true. It's an onion ring. It's an onion ring town. And what I find with an onion ring, to me the minus points on an onion ring is when you bite in, you need the onion part to break on the bite. Sometimes you'll pull out.
Nothing worse than the
threads.
threads.
Pull that thing right out.
You don't want to get down with that. No.
That to me is what makes an onion ring
makes a mockery of
swim.
the institution. I completely agree. Yeah, I want that separation to happen.
Same page right there, Lord.
Woo!
This is the last dab. We call it the
Wow.
last dab because it's tradition around here to put a little extra on the last wing. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I can see where this is headed.
Oh, you can see what this is. Okay, wait, I will give it a check. Oh, that's a bomb. Unpleasant.
It sticks
I
with
feel
you.
bad for them that I've dissed out
Don't. You know what?
their
Don't.
sauce, but
Don't. By the years and years of celebrities accosting this sauce.
Right.
There's, you know what I mean?
It's going
Any
well.
press is good press in the hot sauce game.
So can I ask you, do you have like a crazy amount of hot sauces at home, or are you like, ugh,
So
I just can't think about hot sauce when I go home.
So that's a good question. So when it comes to wings, I'm over wings. You know, I don't want to eat another wing if I'm off the clock. And then everybody thinks of me as like a walking wing encyclopedia. Yeah.
Do you get like a wing sent over?
Yes, all the time.
It's the onion rings. I'm like,
it's love. It's love. I appreciate it. You know, but like every time I'll sit down, it's like, oh, and this is from the chef. And then they'll like present me wings, and I'm like, all right, thank you. It's very sweet. But then also the other thing is like, I'll have friends that are like, I'm visiting Seattle. Like, where's the best spot to get wings? Like, I have this encyclopedic knowledge of every wing spot in the country. Like, I'm an expert on wings. So
like, no.
Wings, I'm over. I've turned the corner. But because of the show, and perhaps counterintuitively, I have gained a new appreciation and love for hot sauce because you meet all these different makers and you hear all these different stories. And then I've tried so many different kinds and seen the way that it elevates food and changes things on a culinary level. So to answer your question, I now love hot sauce even more, and I even have a whole, just you open a cabinet in my kitchen, and it's just a Hall of Fame wall of hot sauce that goes like 5 shelves deep.
I love that. I love that for you. I just did a hearty last
That is, cheers. Cheers,
hey,
Lord.
cheers. Yum! Get that bonnet.
Just enjoying. Just out here having lunch, Lord. Double bite. Oh no. The perils of wearing white on your wing show.
Disaster.
Okay, Lord.
Really delicious.
Finally, we've made it to the end here. And if we've learned anything all along the way, it's that you're a stalwart of pop music. Beautifully obsessed, as evidenced by this quote. A lot of musicians think they can do pop, and the ones who don't succeed are the ones who don't have the reverence, who think it's just a dumb version of other music. You need to be awestruck. It's a simple question, but feel free to take it as deep as your hot sauce-soaked brain wants to go. What do you find sacred about pop music?
I'll put the wing down for that. That's how seriously I take that question. Well, ever since I was a kid, even before I made anything, I had this sneaking suspicion that it was more difficult to speak to a lot of people than it was to speak to a small amount. There's something really special about that. And just like, I love, writing a pop melody, like, there's nothing better, for it to be simple, but just secretly complex and to kind of trick the brain. It's probably not dissimilar to that. You can't fake it. It's a real experience. So that's kind of what it is for me, just that feeling of being able to talk to a lot of people and to make something that is kind of highbrow, but also, can be enjoyed in really simple ways.
Drop the wing and drop the mic. Lord, taking on the wings of death and living to tell the tale. Tossing the napkin.
It was a true pleasure. I really enjoyed this. Thank you for having me.
I enjoyed speaking to you today. This was such a lovely experience. And now, Lord, there's nothing left to do but roll out the red carpet for you. This camera, this camera, this camera. Let the people know what you have going on in your life.
Oh, this bit. Okay. I have an album coming out. It's called Solar Power. It's out on August 20th. So check it out if you want to. But mainly check out Hot Ones. Thank you.
Thank you.
This was really fun. I had a great time.
What was your second favorite?
I do like that ginger goat. And I really like that scorpion disco. That was nice.
And you like the name. What is it? Funkin' Hot?
Funkin' Hot. I love that you're like the high priest of this.
I know. It's just
hot sauce universe. Like, could you ever have expected that this would be your life?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Sean Evans here. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching today's episode, and it's happened. The day has finally come for the U2's Hot Ones toy. That's right, the U2's Hot Ones toy is available July 29th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time at shop.firstwefeast.com. That's shop.firstwefeast.com to get your hands on the Hot Ones U2's toy. Look at this. Got the table, got the sauces, got the milk, the wings on deck. It's handsome, if I do say so myself.